I'm a 49er whose claims just come good, and I'm on my way to town to kick up my heels with some French ladies.
And I'm... Hold on. I don't know what a 49er is.
A 49er was the lads who went out during the first gold rush of America in 1849.
Oh, gold rush. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know what it was.
It was a thing I was doing. You see, it worked on so many levels.
And
was
I just
so
ruined
good.
it.
I had the election in there and stuff, and like America's heyday. And it was a time period when politicians were sometimes corrupt and pay for their positions by, claims and things like the Comstock. But the Comstock came later.
And I completely ruined your whole bit.
I don't think anyone would have got it, to be honest.
I'm Karen. And this is...
Brew damn hot. It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
We had this conversation
last
week.
I'm going to keep doing it. Don't set me up to do the name of the podcast because I'll never remember.
But see, you had a really good... All right. Well, anyway, it's brewed darn hot. We don't cuss on this podcast unless we have to. Unless we're really riled up about something that Gomez has done. We just watched the game. We just watched the Reds. But before we get to that, we got to roll the intro.
Roll the intro.
So, we just watched Liverpool versus Manchester City.
Man City, yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts on the game? Disappointing sigh. That's the thoughts. I don't know. That was the first thought that came to my mind. I don't know if
I'm so much disappointed because there were moments when we were genuinely brilliant. That first 20 minutes, we were well beaters. The last 20 minutes, certainly the last 15 minutes, were one of those parts of a game where you just want the whistle to blow.
Yeah, when they said that there were 4 more minutes remaining, I was sure that someone on Manchester City was going to score a goal because they were doing that thing where Alexander-Arnold got injured. They took him out of the front of the lineup, and they didn't replace him with anybody, and they just had everybody in the backs defending.
To be fair, they brought Milner on, and he did, for someone who isn't a natural defender, he did very, very well. There was one time when Sterling turned him inside out, and Alisson had to come out and cover him. But apart from that, I thought Millie did really well.
Yeah, I just overall, those last 4 minutes were kind of like, we know we're not going to score a goal, so we might as well just defend. And I think at that point, everyone watching was probably like, okay, it's a tie. It's a draw. We just have to prevent Man City from scoring because they were pushing into... They were pushing pretty hard.
They're a brilliant side.
I was really impressed. I remember one time I saw Manchester City last season, and they beat the Reds in the Premier League, and I don't remember that game, the one game that I saw, but the second game, I'll remember it because I think it was a really good match.
It was one of those, if you didn't have a horse in the race, it would have been a great game to watch.
Yeah.
I like the idea that people listen to this podcast for our hot takes on football.
Takes. Well, we are hot and we have takes.
It's warm in here, but then again, it always is in this house.
It's not warm. We just turned the heater off.
It's deadly.
It's not. Well, so I tweeted about Shaqiri. I thought he was a really great addition. Was he in the second half?
Yeah.
They brought him on in the first half?
Bobby.
Yeah.
Came off for me.
Bobby. Oh. Well, anyway, I've got a song for Shaqiri, right?
Yeah.
So, you've heard that song, Shakira. Shakira. It's a Shakira song.
It's a part of Hips Don't Lie.
Is that it?
It's part of Hips Don't Lie.
Is it Hips Don't Lie? Okay, well anyway, that Shakira song.
Because I was trying to come up with a pun for your tweet. I couldn't.
It's okay, it was good just as it was. It didn't need any additional pun from you.
Fair enough.
So if you want to see my song for Shakira, you can go follow us at Brew Darn Hot on Twitter.
No, they can't. They can't do that.
Oh, right, we didn't do that.
Because that's not the Twitter handle.
This was your idea. We have a Twitter for the podcast. Brew Darn David and Brew Darn Caitlin.
Well, the reason for doing that was because no one can understand what I'm saying. They can find subtitles for this episode on the Twitter account.
Okay. You can search for the hashtag Brew Darn Hot because we've looped that hashtag into some of our tweets. Anyway, it's just a play on that song. Jada, what did you think of him today?
Amazing as always.
Yeah?
Incredible. It's very easy to look at a player like Jota and say he should be forcing Bobby out the side. They're two very, very different players. The problem is the things that Firmino used to do very, very well, he's not doing that, nor is he scoring goals. And you can't have that from a forward. He's not creating goals and he's certainly not scoring them.
Yeah.
And as such, it might be time to bench him and give Jota the run
Wah,
up
wah.
front between Mane and Salah.
I agree. Liverpool's hotter with Diego Jota. That's my song.
It's not one of your best things. It's not.
If you know The Little Mermaid, you know that.
I don't know if it's top 5.
It's at least good enough to be the song for Diego Jota. Unless you have a better one. I've been waiting all day to tell you that.
I'm not the musician in this house.
Okay. Well, anyway, so moving on to the news. The obvious news is that we have a result from the presidential election. And Joe Biden is our new president, and Kamala Harris is our new vice president in the States.
They are indeed.
It's been a week. It's been a long... Guys, it's been a week.
It's...
Sorry, that was like an exorcism of Donald Trump leaving my body.
There was certain amount of time on... When was the election night? Thursday night?
Yeah.
Was it Thursday? No, it wasn't.
Was it Wednesday?
It was Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday? Wait, let's look at the calendar. It was
Tuesday.
It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days.
Yeah, there was part of Tuesday night when it felt like looking at Trump's turnout, it looked like he'd secured a second term. But that was because I was unaware that certain states you had to count postal ballots and things after walk-in ballots.
Sure, certain states have certain rules on when you count those ballots because certain states have different opinions on how it influences the people who are actually going out to vote that day. If they know how many ballots have come in, they may or may not show up at the polls depending on who you want to vote for. So, but a million. There were I think a million mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania that were being counted at the last minute. Like it was just a flood of mail-ins this year.
Which is understandable given the situation with the pandemic and things.
Yeah. So we've got our result.
It obviously tiptoeing through a minefield here, but it's I would say it's a good thing. I will go as far as saying
the United States is not hotter with Biden as president. No, that's not a song.
I don't think it's not gonna catch on that one.
It's not gonna catch on.
But yeah, it's a good thing. I think what the best thing about the election was the amount of people who turned out to vote.
Yeah.
Incredible numbers for both candidates. You look at the amount of votes both parties, both presidential candidates, or rather a candidate and the incumbent, challenging the incumbent. Just amazing amounts of votes, and the big winner is democracy. As cheesy as that sounds, it's true.
Yeah, I think I was expecting a Trump victory myself because of what happened in 2016. I wasn't expecting Joe Biden to win. Not that I'm a Trump fan or anything.
No.
We're not going to get political here on the pod, but I was expecting...
Why are you looking at me like that when you say...
I did not look at you. I looked at my show notes. You behave yourself.
I just thought it was a warning. Don't do it.
But yeah, it was an amazing election. It was... in every way, it set new precedents. We've got our first female vice president that was elected by the people. I think there was another female vice president somewhere back in history, but she wasn't actually elected. I don't remember. She moved into the vice presidency somehow. I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
Don't know that off the top of my head.
I don't know. It could be. I just made up a thing. But you know what else is amazing? Amazing Race, because we are now on season 7.
Was that a segue? Is that what they call in the biz?
Well, you just pointed it out.
A segue.
I'm trying, but now you're just breaking it up even more because you're like, wait, was it a segue?
Transition.
Right. Yeah. So we're on season 7 of The Amazing Race, and we're rooting for a couple of different teams. So we call the first team the Necks because there's a team called the Necks on every season that we watch.
There's always a Necks.
There's always 2 dudes, 2 bros who have thick necks and lift weights and are we're gonna win this, blah blah. So they get the term coined, the Necks.
The Necks.
They're still in the race, although they flipped their car and they injured their camera guy, which was awful.
That camera guy wasn't as injured as he made out. That camera guy knows the way of the world and is getting a nice little payout to go home and have another wing built onto the house.
He got the $1 million.
Courtesy of Phil and The Amazing Race. Well done, cameraman. More of that.
But to be fair, it wasn't his fault. I guess he's just capitalizing on the situation
of course
in that
he
scenario.
Is.
I hope he was okay. I think the season went on in 2005 or something.
Yeah.
So I hope he's all right. He's lived a long, happy life since then.
Maybe he hasn't. Maybe he's had a terrible life.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe he died. I don't know.
Maybe that compensation claim went to his head. It ruins his family. He now lives in a motel in Scranton.
Scranton. Oh, don't make fun of Scranton. I've been there. It's a nice place. I like Scranton.
Scranton seems like a place where they make paper clips.
They had a lot of factories there.
I rest
Back
my
in the
case.
day.
I rest my case. Case me.
Well, if he's from Scranton, then he can just paperclip his organs back into place.
The paperclip
after
state.
being flipped over in this car.
The office supply state.
But yeah. So other teams that we like.
I like the 2 gay lads.
Oh, the 2 gay lads are still in it. Yes.
Lynn and I can't remember the other little fella. What's his name?
I don't remember either of their names.
Lynn.
They're just the gay.
That's probably because we sit there and go ahead, the big gay lads.
The big gays. We love them. We were rooting for the mom and the gay son, but they got beaten out.
Patrick and his critical mother.
Yes, he had a really hard time riding that horse.
That sounds like an indie movie from the mid-90s.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure that's why I'm sure that's why she named him Patrick.
Maybe so.
Or after, Patrick on, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Maybe.
He had a kind of a high-pitched voice. He had a very feminine-sounding voice.
To be fair, he wasn't Tiny Tim.
No, that's true. But he was
skinny. The singer,
skinny.
not the Dickensian character.
Who else? Who else did we root for? I like Uchenna and his wife.
They're all right.
Uchenna sounds like a speed skater,
It sounds like an Italian moped.
He sounds like his face is flat to for aerodynamic purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But his wife is a little elf woman who is very quirky, but we like them.
Not elf in the sort of Lord of the Rings way. Not You know, more like a pixie.
Not
I
like
suppose.
no, she's not, what does she say?
Galadriel is.
You will bow to me or die, or whatever she says.
That's gonna annoy me now.
That quote.
What does she say?
I used to know it back in high school. I used to know
Or
all the
she'll
Lord
look
of the
upon
Rings.
me and despair.
Yeah.
Is what she
You
said.
shall.
Or she'll love me.
You shall love me.
And
Or
despair.
Yeah. So we're still in the Amazing Race mode. That's our TV series of the week. As far as album or song of the week,
I have another TV series.
oh, what's your other TV series?
The other TV, and I can't remember the name of it. It's like the American Barbecue Challenge. It's just landed on Netflix.
Yes,
and I binged it. And now I just want to smoke meats. That's all I want to do with my time is smoke different meats.
I caught him watching some episodes
so
of it.
Good.
It's amazing. And so what is it about? What is it about that show that really gets your juices flowing?
It's
greases your.
That lights my fire. See, that's why I'm here.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
The Doors wrote that song, of course, about barbecue.
We're talking about the show.
Sorry, distracted. What do I like about it? It's a slice of Americana.
It's like the big barbecue.
It's ultimate Americana.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything more symbolic of the United States than people standing in a field for 16 hours smoking a whole hog.
Yeah, they have.
Make of that what you will.
To be fair, I don't think actual American families do that, but there are restaurants and places where you could go for that kind of thing.
I think you'll find our listenership in Kentucky are willing to disagree.
In the mashed potatoes side state.
Oh, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
I've been looking at it out the corner of my eye, and I am aghast at some of the things on there.
We've got a map, just so you guys know what we're talking about. We've got a map of the United States, and it has the most popular side dish of every state labeled on it. But we're going to talk about Thanksgiving in a minute.
Yeah.
I think I watched the show. I was horrified.
Why?
Because they had them cook roadkill. That is not how we do it in the States.
Again,
no one goes, come on, let's have some raccoon burgers.
Possum sounded all right.
Possum sounded disgusting.
What is a possum?
There are people who...
No, I know what a possum is. I mean, is it vermin? Is it...
No, it's a marsupial, I think.
Is it a marsupial?
It's like a creature that you can find outside in the brush.
Which is the definition of marsupial.
Right. Well, I guess. I don't know. You asked me what it was, but then you said, I know what it is. So I don't know what you're asking me.
No, I know it's an animal. I'm not, mystified. What is it? Is it a tea chest?
Is it a popcorn bag?
I'm not mystified by it. I just didn't know sort of, what kind of animal it was.
So it's basically like, like a cross between like a beaver and an armadillo. He's kind of like a land-dwelling,
This is not helping. This is not helping me answer my question.
So wait, you don't have beavers or armadillos here?
No.
Beaver was on the show. Someone cooked beaver.
They did, beaver tail.
Guys, someone cooked a beaver. There was crocodile meat.
It was greasy and oily and weird, the beaver. The meat was just filled with this oil that dripped from it.
Yeah, gross.
Did you know they used to light lamps with whale oil?
I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me.
Do you know how long it takes to wring a whale out?
Was it whales that we were talking about when you were like, they instead of singing, they say, I'm a whale! Ah!
They're constantly annoyed that they're whales. They're screaming. They're having an existential crisis.
But they're not screaming with like the voice of a chain-smoking 39-year-old like man who's like, I'm a whale! Ah!
No, they're just so devastated that they're a whale.
Why did Chi-Chi just moved over here? Why did he do that? Oh, Chi-Chi, what's the matter?
Oh,
buddy. Sorry, I just felt him move. But yeah, I don't know. That show was very, very disturbing
I
to
would
me.
genuinely appreciate it if one of the half a dozen people who hear this podcast could let me know what a bloody possum is, please. I mean, I could Google it, but I'll forget as soon as I walk out of this room.
Comment below. What is it? What's an opossum? Explain it. I can't explain it.
I know what it is.
Any
I just
better.
don't know whether it's like vermin or is it a marsupial, as you say.
I think it's a marsupial. It's not treated like, it's not like a rat. It's like, not like, ew! It's like, oh, look, there's a blah, blah, blah.
Let's move on.
And now, let's move on to things that I can say, words I know. So
that was this week in TV for us.
Album, song of the week. I don't really have one because I haven't really been listening to much this week.
No.
Which is weird, but I guess my song of the week is the song I sang in my sleep the other day when I was doing warm-ups.
So weird.
While I was sleeping. I was apparently singing scales in my sleep.
Yep.
And I was like in teacher mode and I was like...
Full teacher mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that's my song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The teacher, student voice came out. Okay. Which was funny when I couldn't sleep at 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
I was horrified when you told me that.
Okay.
And then I asked him if I was on key, and he said yes. There's no way I was singing on key.
You were absolutely on key. If you weren't, I would have woke you up. Stop.
So I didn't actually sing a song, but we were doing warm-ups.
You were doing warm-ups, and then you did your usual thing of laughing and startling the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, so apparently I sing, teach music lessons, and laugh like a maniac in my sleep.
But
everybody knows now. Thank you for telling the world.
It's not just a laugh, though. It's not like ha 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 ha. It's ha. Which
really
is a hell of a way to wake up. Let me tell you.
That's so strange. I'm really embarrassed.
Ha.
I apologize for my unconscious noises. Thanksgiving. We want to talk about Thanksgiving because it's something that I love, and it's something that it's a really big holiday back in the States.
Well, this is the thing. So, you do love Thanksgiving. You frequently tell me how much you like Thanksgiving.
Another noise. Oh, sorry. I got distracted by Charlie.
We're going to try and recreate it.
Yeah,
to some extent.
Well, you didn't let me go out to the pumpkin patch.
It's not that I didn't let you.
Everybody, can you leave a comment and tell David that there is a purpose for having wellies when you live in Walton in Liverpool?
No, there isn't.
Because when you go out into that pumpkin patch to find that pumpkin that you want, you're in the middle of the patch, you're in the mud, you're in the grass, it's disgusting. If it's anything like picking pumpkins in the States, you put on your nice boots and your big sturdy boots and you go out into the patch. This is why, okay, I wanted a pair of boots. And he's like, why do you want a pair of boots? And I said, because I want to go pumpkin picking and I don't have them. And he said, well, why do you want to go pumpkin picking? And now he's telling you all that he wants to celebrate, do it up like people do Thanksgiving in the States.
But he
won't let me buy boots and he won't let me go pumpkin picking.
Now, two things here. The idea that I could stop you doing anything is ridiculous. He won't let me.
True.
Nonsense.
True.
True.
Sorry, I apologize.
And my 2 reference points for what Thanksgiving should be was an extended edition of Garfield, circa 1989, and Survivor Series, the wrestling event from the WWF from 1987 to the early 90s.
Yeah.
These are my pumpkin picking. Not involved in either of those.
He didn't even know what I was talking about.
Well, I knew understood the concept.
Sure, but he was like, well, we don't do that. But I looked up, there were some farms, there were some places we could go. So I think as far as Thanksgiving goes, the misconception that people here have is that, it's this,
It's a trial run for Christmas, I think, is our impression of it.
Yeah, it's just another excuse for us to eat food and, get together and,
it's
take a couple
Christmas
days off
without
work.
presents. Is
Yeah.
what I've always seen it as.
Sure. And I think people in the States really, really believe it's about giving thanks, and it's about, the pilgrims coming over and, like, showing the Indians
Thin ice.
things.
We are on
Yeah.
thin ice.
I'm not saying I agree with any of that, but I really
I'm
think...
just warning you that I might at any second go off like a bottle rocket.
Go ahead, tell the people how you feel.
No, it's not. Oh, this is why you're doing your holidays wrong, America.
It's a feel-good holiday. It's meant to be
Absolutely.
It's meant to be a feel-good holiday.
It's about wearing buckles on your shoes.
It's about family.
And other pilgrim things.
It's about family. It's about food. Mostly it's about food.
Mashed potato, as far as I understand.
Yes, and then there,
Does anybody like pumpkin pie? Anybody?
Yes.
Or do you all just pretend?
I pretend, but some people actually do. I will eat it. And be like, pumpkin pie, yum. But
it's
actually,
gross.
There is one place on Long Island that I will eat their pumpkin pie, and that's Briarmere Farms. People who live on Long Island will know. But yeah, it's kind of gross.
It's not kind of gross. It's gross. I've only had it once, and it's up there with the worst food experience I've ever had.
You have to have really good fresh pumpkin pie that's baked correctly. A lot of people here. So I'm in... Oh, shout out to the expat group on Facebook. I'm in a couple of expat groups. And I noticed some of you are looking for canned pumpkin and having these conversations like, how do I find canned pumpkin?
Whoa, this is taking a turn I didn't expect.
I have to tell y'all...
When did we become good housekeeping?
I just wanted to talk about canned pumpkin for a
You could have
second,
warned
okay?
me. I'm baffled by what's happening. I would have worn an apron.
Oh, that would be great. If you could just wear an apron and cook all of our meals, that'd be great. He's an excellent cook, by the way. I wouldn't complain about it at all. However, that canned pumpkin stuff is gross. Most of the time, it's gross. It's just... But it's the only thing that you can find here. You're not going to find people baking fresh pumpkin pies.
I've never seen it in a can.
No,
here.
That's what people have been searching for.
I've never been strolling down the aisles of Sainsbury's and gone, good Lord.
You wouldn't unless you were really looking for it. And so, for all you out on the hunt for canned pumpkin, I wish you luck.
Could you substitute it with butternut squash?
You could if you were having some other kind of meal and it was ingredient in it. But I think if you have just a pie itself, it will taste like butternut squash if you substitute it.
I've never made pumpkin pie, you see, so I'm not sure.
I've never either. It's not a thing that we like, that our family likes for Thanksgiving. So the stuff that we usually eat, it's usually like a turkey. My Aunt Eileen, always got a butterball turkey when we all went to her house for Thanksgiving. And, when it was, when she needed help, there was a butterball hotline and you could call it. My turkey's not thawing. Call the butterball hotline.
Awesome.
And so over the years she hasn't done a Thanksgiving in a while. We've sort of stopped having those huge gatherings. We used to have huge gathering at my Aunt Eileen's house, but it's about the turkey and the gravy, turkey gravy.
We're going to get into that in a minute because there's questions I have about gravy and this here back of America.
There's gravy. We have gravy issues. Okay, that's all we have to say. Turkey gravy, sides like corn. I don't like peas, but my family does corn, peas, stuffing, which is like bread and celery and stuff like that, which can be cooked inside the turkey when you cook the turkey, but usually isn't, for anybody who's wondering what stuffing actually is and how it's cooked. You can just make it on the side. I just want maybe people have questions.
This good housekeeping bit has gone to your head, quite frankly.
But yeah, and then somebody gets a thing of cranberry sauce and hunks it in a dish, and we go, cranberry sauce, because that's traditional, but nobody really likes cranberry sauce anyway. Buttered rolls, mashed potatoes, and that's the usual. And then the desserts obviously follow, but that's how I celebrate Thanksgiving at home in the States. Any questions?
We can.
Any questions, class?
We can recreate most of that.
Okay, sounds good. We'll need your mother's kitchen.
Why?
Because the size of our oven, it would take us 3 days to make everything. And then heat it up
We
for the
don't
day.
need a whole turkey, for Christ's sake.
But we had this conversation, and you're like, oh yeah, we can fit one in there.
Was I sober?
You were very sober.
Okay.
You think that little oven is the little oven that we can cook anything and everything in it, but it's very small.
It's got TARDIS written on the side.
It does.
No.
Was that an It's Bigger on the Inside joke?
Yeah. I was reaching out to the Whovians in the audience.
All right, Whovians from everywhere. Kind of suspend your disbelief when I read you the names of some of these sides, because
so many questions.
Yeah, let's look at this map. So
this
I
is
don't know
a
why
map.
I address the Whovians for that. I don't know why.
They may be particularly interested in this. I don't know.
Maybe they love Thanksgiving?
They're strange people.
Yeah. Anyway,
so this is a map of the United States broken down.
Yes.
By state.
We'll link it. We'll link it somewhere clickable wherever this is uploaded, so you can look at it.
It has the most popular side dish per state.
Right. Side dish, not main dish.
Wow, this is mental.
Now, I'm from New York. I'm from the metro area. I'm from Long Island. So, born in Manhattan. Moved to Long Island with my family when I was a girl. I even look at some of these and I'm like, what? But I guess it makes sense. So, shout out to the roll states. Buttered frickin' rolls.
That's how they roll.
We've got West Virginia. We've got Missouri. We've got Oklahoma. We've got Utah. They are into the rolls.
I'm down with that. I think that's a great side.
Yeah, I don't know why there are no rolls on the East Coast.
Let's start with the major problem here. I am not convinced that a lot of this can be described as sides. These are integral parts.
Yeah.
Of a meal.
I think so.
Mashed
I
potato was a side, really?
I guess people consider it a side at a restaurant.
I suppose so.
You know, but
I'm just picking hairs, I suppose.
But that's the best part of Thanksgiving is the sides. The best part is like your favorite sides and having them all on the plate and just like gorging yourself. You know.
What a crescent roll?
Where's a crescent roll? What state is that? Oh, that's so funny.
That's South Dakota, right?
Yeah, South Dakota has crescent rolls instead of rolls.
What is that? A crescent roll would be a croissant.
It's almost like a croissant, but it's just with same bread that you make rolls with. It doesn't taste flaky. It doesn't taste too buttery. Maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe their crescent rolls are... I've never been to South Dakota.
People of South Dakota, let us know. I'm intrigued.
Anybody from South Dakota? Well, how do you eat your rolls?
Talk to me about green bean casserole, please, because that is... I don't know what that is.
Green bean... Oh, wow! I am flabbergasted about how many states have green bean casserole as their...
I understand what a green bean is.
So a casserole is usually almost like a...
I also know what a casserole is, but I don't understand what it means to combine those two things.
Just a casserole that has a lot of green beans in it. It's a green bean heavy casserole. That's all.
Extraordinary business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hash brown casserole.
Shout out to Texas. Shout out to New Mexico.
Alaska.
Yes, Alaska hash brown casserole. I've been wanting to try that so
Right,
bad. Wait.
Maybe you have a different interpretation of what a casserole is. Tell me what a casserole is.
Okay, a casserole is sometimes has pasta in it, has shredded like carrots, probably has mayonnaise or something tangy in there. It's kind of like that's a casserole.
You people are mental.
Wait, did I explain it wrong though? Maybe. I don't know. I've never made casserole, so yeah, we're pretty weird.
That can't be right, surely to God.
That's my version of a casserole. Mayonnaise, shredded carrots, and pasta. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Number one source for US information.
I don't know how to make a casserole.
Everything you tell me sounds unbelievable.
I don't know how to make a casserole. Now,
you've seen one.
Look, green bean,
Perhaps
broccoli.
not in the wild, but you have seen one.
Yes, I have. I've eaten casserole before. It's hard to explain what's in it because it's like a sauce. It's sauce and pasta and vegetables and lettuce and things.
Oh,
Shredded lettuce.
Oh, good. Okay.
I don't know. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
casserole.
It just sounds crazy.
yeah, crazy. Mashed potatoes. What? California, Nevada, Colorado. They're all about the mashed potatoes. So is the entire northern part of the country.
It's cold.
It is cold, so I can imagine that's the thing they look forward to. So New York stuffing. I get it. There's so many people who love stuffing in New York, and it's like an East Coast thing, but I don't think it tastes kind of bad. I've never loved it. My aunt made a pretty good one where I could have a couple forkfuls and be like, "Yay, stuffing." I tried it. Every time I try it.
Is it the onion?
Yeah, I don't like onion, so that's probably it. Yeah. Cuz I like bready things.
Yeah.
And I'm into vegetables, but not really onions. So.
We will try probably before our fake Thanksgiving. I'll come up with a portmanteau for fake and Thanksgiving. I might just call it Thanksgiving. We will try stuffing. We will try the mighty Paxo.
Okay.
And see what you think of
what
that.
What is that?
Paxo.
Yeah.
Paxo is the #1 stuffing brand of ready-made stuffing.
Oh, really?
It's
is it good?
That's okay.
Okay.
You know I don't eat onions. Yeah, but I don't eat onions.
Oh, and you like
and
it.
And it's manageable.
Well, then maybe I will enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Okay. Mashed potatoes, I can make those.
Yeah.
I know somewhat my aunt's recipe. I kind of just taste it and like add things until it tastes right.
Yeah.
But
here's the thing. Do you have? I know you don't personally, but is it like roast potatoes?
Is that a question? Do we have roast potatoes?
Well, do you have? Is that part of the Thanksgiving spread?
It's very fall-esque. You could have roast potatoes, but the traditional Thanksgiving is mashed potatoes. Takes more effort, more love. You know, mashing those potatoes.
Thanks for the mime.
Oh, speaking of which, a stupid thing that I saw on social media this week, since we had that going in the first pod, there was a video somewhere that someone put of President Trump doing this hand motion.
Oh, yeah, I don't believe you picked that.
Cause like, well, we weren't even gonna do that bit, but now I just remembered. It's President Trump, and he does this motion with his hand that looks like he's sucking a dick, and sometimes he does it with both hands when he walks out, and the music is playing, and he's doing his hand thing. That's the stupidest thing I've seen. I'll link it.
Someone did say on Twitter that he's jerking off ghosts.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh my god. Wait, what do you even jerk off on a ghost?
Ghost dick.
It's so small, it's invisible. Also, another favorite thing I have on the internet is this video I showed you. It Wanna Buy a Ghost, and it was made by this improv group like 10 years ago. Still my favorite video on the internet. It was this guy standing in New York City, and he goes, "Wanna buy a ghost?" And he opens his coat like he's got something in his inside pocket, and there's like these little animated ghosts going and then he buys the ghost. I won't tell you what happens, but he buys the ghost.
Yeah, it's a good vid.
Yeah.
I don't want to backtrack here
Okay.
because I do want to tell you what the
Back
word
to
is.
Thanksgiving.
I do want to tell you sort of the best thing I saw on social media this week.
What have you seen?
But I've just noticed that the people of Maine have chosen the side salad.
People of Maine are crazy. People of Maine,
These
what
people
the
like
hell?
wrestle giant squids and lobster and things. These are outdoorsy people.
Well, I guess so. They're very outdoorsy.
They're called. Give me an American outdoor name, Chuck, and things like that.
Yeah.
And married to people called Mary Ann.
Yeah.
The side salad.
I mean, side salad is great. Gotta love a good side salad. I'm into salad. You're not as much.
No.
A good side salad can make or break a meal. Dressings, anything dressing. Anything you put on sandwiches, condiments. David just doesn't like it. It makes him cringe. You make the sound of the good.
It's
I am a little confused by that.
The side salad.
That's kind of lame, Maine.
It's... Oh.
All right, so big ups to the southeastern coast. Mac and cheese all the way from Maryland to Georgia.
Louisiana dressing.
That's so weird. They must have done a survey, because why would someone put dressing as a separate category?
Dressing, unless Louisiana, they have a specific type of dressing which is associated with Thanksgiving. But also, what's that one?
Which one?
This one.
This one?
This one.
That one? Louisiana?
No, that's Louisiana, isn't it?
No,
oh,
that's
it's Mississippi.
Not. No, that's Mississippi. That's Louisiana.
So that's cornbread dressing. Is it a dressing for cornbread?
I guess. Cornbread and like rolls are big down there. So I don't know.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's a very strange world that we live in when people want deviled eggs with their Thanksgiving meal. There's one state that likes deviled egg, 2 states that want deviled eggs with their meals.
Deviled eggs.
It's not about eggs, guys. It's not about deviled eggs. Get up. You're wrong.
That's
Easter. They're just wrong. Yeah. They're confused. They're real confused.
Real confused.
I bet you someone made a big mistake and then that's how they got deviled eggs.
And that's how it started.
Yeah.
I bet you there's an after-school special about the history of the deviled egg at Thanksgiving just in these states.
Well, I mean, it's Indiana. What do you expect?
I don't know much about Indiana.
Yeah,
I know it belongs in a museum. Do you see what I did there? Do you see what I did?
Chichi, what do you think? What do you think?
So, the best thing I saw on social media this week was this group of guys, and they had a really important thing they had to tell the press, and they chose to do it from a landscaping business with a porn store next door. That was a great joke.
So we had this conversation about this press conference. Do you think it was a mistake or was it a big joke?
I don't know. Either one of the staffers has just crucified them.
So let's explain for the people who are listening. They were supposed to have this press conference.
It was the president.
Sorry, Chi-Chi just saw this map with all these things on it. And he was
cheese. Delicious. It was the president's legal counsel and campaign organisers decided to have a press conference. Rudy Giuliani was going to sort of run this thing, and they had it from a landscaping business, the Four Seasons.
See, this is where I think someone's playing a huge joke on Rudy Giuliani, because I bet that he said,
book the Four
Seasons hotel.
Yeah.
Or said, book the Four Seasons, and the person translated that as, oh, you want to have a press conference at a landscape place? All right. Or just did it.
It's either that or it's massively misguided, the idea of this shows that we're normal people.
Yeah.
So hold a press conference at a landscaping business next door to a dildo emporium.
Yeah.
Well, that is what I like to call adult stores. Dildo emporiums.
I can tell you with 100% confidence that on Christopher Street in New York City, there is not a single store called the Dildo Emporium, nor any emporium that is only for dildos. When you go into a store on the gayest street in Manhattan, you see everything, not just dildos.
Well, yeah, I mean, the much missed and lamented 42nd Street, before it became faceless corporate nonsense. How did we get here? Is it because I said dildo emporium 47 times?
Yes, you did.
Fair enough, but that was
She is so offended he's leaving.
He is. He's clutched his pails and left.
He's seen a ghost. He always sees that ghost in the kitchen where he's like looking at the kitchen like, huh? Is there a ghost here? Huh? Where's a ghost? I saw it. Think.
The cheese ghost. So yeah, that was my favourite thing on social media. It was Rudy Giuliani standing by some lawnmowers.
Rudy Giuliani.
Mm-hmm.
of food, let's have a little conversation about the takeout that we got the other day.
We need to talk about takeout in general, or as we call it, takeaway.
Takeaway, yeah. Now, if I called it takeout, would people be like, you're weird, or would they know what I mean?
They know what you mean.
You're a dumb New Yorker. You'll be all right. It's
Yeah,
okay.
We'll
let you get away with it.
No one is gonna sort of have a question mark appear above their head and give it the huh.
Someone had a question mark appear above their head, I'd punch that thing like Mario does. Boing! Right?
What do you get for question marks?
Is it?
They're in the yellow square, aren't they? It can be.
I think so.
Is it mushrooms?
I think it's mushrooms or something. It's a mystery. That's why there's a question mark.
There's a question mark on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can learn to say takeaway.
Yeah, generally takeaway.
Yeah, I think that the meal that we got the other day was a combination of misinterpretation of what I was supposed to be getting and just general grossness. So it was my birthday and I got this burger and it was supposed to be beef, shredded beef.
Cheese and wine burger. It was.
Yeah, it was gross. It was just a sloppy Joe.
That's exactly
with some
what it
leaves and.
It was a burger.
The fries were
But it was a burger patty.
Yeah.
That they then dumped.
It wasn't a patty. That's the problem.
Was there not a patty under the stewed meat?
No, it was just the meat all being pushed together.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
Who
anyway.
needs that?
Nobody wants that.
But look, this is the thing. Takeout in the States.
Yeah.
Infinitely better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Infinitely.
I can say after living here for a couple months that I would kill for some good takeout.
Yeah.
From the States, from my favorite places. But the trade-off is that your grocery shopping is a lot better. There's a lot, it's more affordable. There's fresher items with less preservatives. It's cheaper. All that. The grocery level stuff is leveled up. But the takeaway is not as great.
The only difference I can tell, price point, things are cheaper here grocery-wise.
Definitely.
Although I think your veggies are very good. I think American produce is very good.
You were surprised at the quality when we went shopping.
I genuinely was.
And we were able to make some nice meals when you were visiting
I
the
think
States.
there's a great range, and I think there's really fresh, good produce because the vast majority of it is grown within the borders of the United States.
Yeah.
Where a lot of stuff here is grown in Spain and then kept in warehouses for months.
Yeah.
So it doesn't taste of anything.
Well, maybe that's why the takeout is it is what it is.
Well, no,
I mean,
the reason that a lot of the takeout is so bad here is because it's people from certain ethnic backgrounds who are creating foods from other ethnic backgrounds, and there's no correlation between the two.
Yeah, so you think you're getting great
So
great
if you
burger
order,
and you're not. You think you're getting great pizza and you're not. Yeah.
You know, if you're ordering Italian, it's getting made by a Greek,
a Mexican.
A Pakistani guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
not
the
like
problem.
that's an issue.
That's not to say that Pakistanis can't make good pizza, but at least in the States, if you go out and order Italian, a lot of the time it's going to be an Italian American behind the counter who's making it.
Exactly, or at least someone who's learned from a family, like an Italian family.
Sure.
Learned that recipe and can replicate it, because I remember my favorite pizza place, where I grew up, it was a bunch of Mexican guys, but they learned it from an Italian family that used to own it.
Yeah.
Who then sold it to some white guys, and then they taught the recipe to these Mexican guys, and then it was great. It's good pizza. It's good pizza, but I think in general, food here is. There's pros and cons. I can't say one is better than the other, but yeah, you're right. Takeout in the States definitely wins out.
It's us by far.
So let's do a little bit of an update. We don't have much to update on, because
Great Britain now is into its second week of sort of generalised lockdown.
Yeah, we're in lockdown here. in Liverpool. So we've had a lot of time on our hands. And one of the things that David has been doing with his free time is reading Katya and Trixie's book. We're talking about
Trixie Mattel
and
Katya Zamolotchikova.
the drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race.
RuPaul's Drag
Race. Exactly. Sounds exactly like that.
Absolutely. What a tremendous rendition that was.
I spit all over myself. Tell me about the book.
While I wipe the spittle off myself.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
It's Trixie and Katya's Guide to Modern Womanhood. Something you
Have they guided you into womanhood?
No, I'm still convinced that I'll never look good in
drag
in a chemise.
Or what's that thing?
Whoa, this is some man. Gun belt.
You can only see me now. Merkin? The Merkin Schmerkin? We gotta get you one of those for Christmas.
What?
A Merkin.
Why? Okay.
Well, isn't the Merkin the thing that you wear here?
The Merkin is a pubic wig.
Yeah. That's why I was doing this with my hips.
I thought you were doing a gun belt. Like cowboys.
No, I wasn't. No, my dear.
Okay.
I was doing a Merkin, but you didn't get it.
I didn't.
So you're confident that you'll never wear a Merkin or a chemise.
I don't need either of these two items.
Why do you like this book? Why do you like these two drag queens so much?
It's because I like drag.
Yeah.
Because drag is an art form that isn't considered an art form by a lot of people.
True.
And secondly, I'll go as far as saying that drag is the only art form that is always joyous. It's always positive. It's rambunctious. It is filled with life and zip and zim.
Yeah.
It's a good night out, and it can still be the thing that art can, should be, that it can still give a message. It can still convey ideas, but and it's definitely radical, but it's always fun, and that's why I love drag. It takes a lot of balls to put a pair of high heels on.
And some tights.
And some tights.
And a Merkin.
I don't think they all wear Merkins.
Merkin. I'm just making noises at this point. So one of the things that they win, if they win RuPaul's Drag Race, is, well, the season we watched was $75,000.
Well, the last we've been going back, haven't we? Because you haven't seen some of the seasons.
Yeah. But the season that we just watched...
So we just finished season 3.
Oh, season 3.
Won by Raja.
Mm-hmm. No spoilers. We'll go back and take that out.
It's been out for 9 years.
Okay.
I think at this point, it's like
it's
saying...
not spoiling it?
Okay. Miss Havisham catches a flame.
Okay.
I think people know.
Okay. Harry Potter survives till book 7. So that season 3...
Yeah.
Raja won $75,000,000. Sorry.
$75,000,000?
Raja could take over the world! And she would.
She was, given half the chance, I think.
Yeah. And the last and final challenge was making a dress out of fake money as well. They had that challenge where they had to sew the dress with money.
That was the penultimate episode.
Yep, and she had this beautiful ruffle dress. Anyway, if you won $1 million, what would you do with it?
I'd bring about world peace. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What a waste of money. What would I do with $1 million?
She just gave you the most disapproving look. He's like, what do you mean you wouldn't buy me a doghouse on my own property?
Imagine all the dog houses, bud. Imagine all the bonios.
Buy all the fireworks in a 5-mile vicinity so no one else could
have them.
He was so afraid with the fireworks.
Yeah, it was so frightened.
Cheetles.
What would I do with $1 million?
What would you do?
Pretty much not much that different than I do now. I'd buy more records.
Okay, that's a good
I'd buy more
answer.
books.
Yeah, buy more of everything.
I'd buy more musical instruments.
And places to put them.
Pretty much all I do anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, you like music, you like books.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. $1 million, if you're a good person and you will put that money to good use, then when you have that $1 million, you'll just be more of what you are, which is good.
You see, that's the thing.
And
yeah,
fun.
okay, you want like a nice place to live and
Sure.
see the world and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Of course. But, I don't need... So, this week in London, I think it was in Chelsea, which is an affluent area, a house in a block of terraced houses. What do you call terraced houses?
Terrace houses, yeah.
Can you have another term for them?
I don't know quite what you mean by terrace houses.
A house like the one you're sitting in.
Row houses?
Row house.
Yeah.
Collapsed in the middle of a row. Just collapsed into the basement.
Yeah.
Because the guy who owns it was having the house extended but down. He was digging into the basement. Because he probably wants, 2 swimming pools and a carport which jumps out the middle of the road like Batman.
Does he have a Batman? Is he going to buy a Batman suit with that
Probably.
car? Yeah.
Probably the type to do so.
There are people who do that in LA. They think they're Batman, and they have like the little swivel pole that brings them down to the garage.
Yeah.
And the Batmobile is like a black, DeLorean or something that's tricked out.
Yeah.
There are people who live that life.
Psychiatrists call it arrested development.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I that seems like a great idea. And then you just put the rest in the bank.
I'd make sure everyone I liked was okay. And then, just carry on doing my stuff.
I'm okay. Do you like me?
Oh,
right?
you'd have so many new blankets, babe.
Oh, blankets! Give me a hug. Blankets. I want all the new blankets. So, the reason why you say that is because he keeps the house so cold.
You're just Nesh.
No.
Yes.
No, this is the way you've lived your life.
Mm-hmm.
Never turning on the heat. We have not turned on the heat yet. And it is November 8th.
I am from the north of England. Viking blood runs in my veins.
I know. Hence, you've never once tried to acclimate.
Absolutely not.
You said you would while we were doing our long distance dating thing. I'm acclimating. I'm turning on the heat. You were not. I won't believe that for a second.
I was putting a little heater on in the bedroom. That's heat.
But we don't really put it on. We don't let it run through the night. So I wake up and my little toesies are so cold. Blankets would be nice, babe. Thanks for buying them for me with your fake $1 million. If I had $1 million, I would pay off all my debt, pay off all my family's debt, and then I'd buy houses. And I'd invest in an IRA.
Houses.
Yes. I'd buy a big, nice house for us to live in, and then I'd buy, a vacation home in the States somewhere. I'd buy a vacation home in France. I'd buy a vacation home in Ireland. And just save the rest of the money. Oh, Chi-Chi wants to come inside. Why did you close it?
He's there.
Oh, he's in going out. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was out wanting to come in. I feel like we're going to have to cut all of this out. Because
is this an edit point?
Well, the clock went off like 30 minutes ago, telling us we've done 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, $1 million. I'd pay off my debt, invest in property, and then I'd probably buy some instruments.
But I think that's a great answer.
Sorry, boring answer.
No, that sounds prudent.
I am prudent. I'm very prudent.
Prudence. The Beatles creeping in again.
Well,
Alright,
anyway,
should we get out of here?
I think you're starving.
It's 4:00 in the morning.
No, it's not. You just need to eat. We'd like to thank Anna Lilia Fierro for her recording of Ain't We Got Fun by Peggy Lee, and for our friends and family who are listening, as well as any new friends who are joining us this week.
And non-friends, enemies who are listening. Anyone can listen. We're an open, welcoming show where people who hate us, you don't have to like us, just click subscribe.
Click subscribe and come back in 2 weeks. We're going to do these every 2 weeks, we decided. Roll the outro.
Roll the outro.